of lead, for lead?
I don't recall.
What were the results of the wipes for the lead? You don't recall the results?
No, I thought the whole report was bogus, as did State Farm.
Are you an expert in environmental testing?
Absolutely not.
And how can you know that?
I said I thought.
Well, why don't you just go ahead and answer your question. If you can remember what the results were, regardless of the methodology, what
No,
were the results?
I can't remember what the results were.
Okay.
So when the city came in and conducted tests and issued a violation in February of '09, what was your response to that notice of violation?
I sent it to State Farm. I alerted Mr. Greenfield, and the remediation process was begun as soon as it could possibly be done. I turned it over to State Farm to do because it was their subcontractor or their company's, their chosen company's subcontractor that had the containment breach that ultimately then they hired them. It was their responsibility, so they paid for the remediation.
Okay, can you explain why Alliance's tests came out negative for lead and Shiva's test came out negative for lead, and the cities came out positive for lead?
Well, hold on. Objection. Number one, that's an incomplete hypothetical. It doesn't at all talk about where it was tested and what locations. It also calls for speculation, lacks foundation, and for an expert opinion.
Okay. Was the city results positive for lead, was that shocking to you?
I was surprised, and the first thought I had is that you planted it. To be very candid. Certainly it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, I have better things to do.
Hold on. Move forward.
Well, I'm just being honest here. You want me to tell the truth? That was my first thought,
Okay. Well, okay, I'm not going to get into that. Okay, are you aware of the areas that the city did test for lead and how they did?
Well, that's a compound question. But that's two questions you asked.
Okay, where did the city test for the lead?
As best I can recall, some windowsills.
Okay. Anywhere else?
Not that I can recall.
The decision to remediate after the city violation was made by you or State Farm?
Let me just.
I'm not sure.
Wait, hold on, Joe. I want you to answer the question, but again, that potentially involves attorney-client communications as to whether I had anything to do with it, or any communications I may have made.
Would you ask the question again?
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
Let's try it again, and I'll see if I think it's something that makes sense.
Who made the decision to remediate after the city violation?
Who made the decision?
Well, we were obliged to do it. We had to do it.
Okay.
All right. Well, go ahead. And
I think I can.
I don't want to interfere. Go ahead.
I think I can answer this. Ultimately, and probably the same day, Lawson, sit down, boy. Good boy. I talked to Aurora Ruffolo, the trustee, explained the situation, and she said to me in words something like, if it needs to be done, then do what needs to be done, and if State Farm is responsible, then they should do it.
Did you tell Ms. Ruffalo I planted lead on the premises?
No.
Okay. All right. Who decided to hire P.W. Stevens?
As I recall, A series of emails came from you which accused people of being in collusion, and they were the only people that you would accept to do the work. So we chose them to try and accommodate you.
I don't think that's accurate, but anyway.
That's the best of my recollection.
Definitely, we're not going to do that.
Okay. P.W. Stevens, who is the owner of that business?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, do you know the owner of Alliance Environmental?
No, I have no idea.
Do you recall receiving email from me regarding the fact that Alliance's owner, Tim Tilley, is the brother of P.W. Stevens owner, John Tilley?
Well, objection, that assumes facts, not in evidence, calls speculation, but I guess it can answer the question, do you remember seeing an email where Ms. Quiggle made that allegation?
Actually, the truthful answer is don't, because you send so many mails that no, I don't remember that.
Might conflict potentially?
No, I do not.
Well, go ahead. Answered already. Go ahead, then.
Okay. And who decided to hire Clark Seif Clark?
To the best of my recollection, it was a decision that was made between State Farm, Aurora, and myself as property manager.
And to your knowledge, what does Clark Seif Clark do?
They are specialists in supervising the remediation and testing of premises that have lead in them, or that the city says has lead in them.
Would it be accurate to describe them as an environmental consultant?
I think that would be accurate.
And to describe P.W. Stevens as a remediator?
That would be reasonable.
So when was the decision to hire a cleanup versus an abatement made?
Well, the objection is to
I don't understand.
calls for speculation, and it also lacks foundation.
All right, I received an email saying a cleanup was ordered, not an abatement, and there is a difference. What does that mean? What does it mean?
That's the same objection as lacks foundation, calls for speculation.
Well, somebody had to order a cleanup versus abatement, and I don't know why, because no one would ever tell me why.
There's no question from there.
Why was an abatement approved at $10,000 and then a cleanup ordered at $675?
Well, objection.
I don't know that.
Hold on. Objection, that assumes facts, not.
Well, I received an email from Mr. Greenfield asking me to assist in locating a remediation company to do an abatement, and said it can't be over $10,000. And then after we were well into the job, I was informed that a cleanup had been ordered instead of an abatement. Do you know the difference?
So the question, okay, well, I'll object to the first prefatory comment, and then the question simply, do you know, as a layperson, the difference between a cleanup and an abatement?
I don't know that there is any difference.
Who ordered the cleanup versus the abatement, you or State Farm?
That's the same objection.
Okay.
It also lacks foundation. You have to listen to his answer.
Okay. All right, let's move forward with this. It's exhausting me. Okay, Mr. Clutter's work plans, were you